G'day, I'm here in Mudgee and I've just recently caught up with Colleen Best, who is the practice manager here at the Mudgee Medical Centre. I was fortunate enough to quickly chat with Dr. Ed Lee as well, and talking about a lot of the challenges that Mudgee has been facing, and that this medical practice has had to close its books to any new patients due to the lack of GPs in town. Now, we know just down the road in Gulgong, they have lost their one and only GP recently. We know that there are GP shortages right across Clare and the Central West, whether it's in Canowindra, whether it's in Carcoar, whether it's in Blayney. And after talking and meeting with Dr. Ian Spencer in Wellington recently, it is so clearly evident from the feedback I'm getting from people on the ground that the Band-Aid approach to GPs in the bush just doesn't work anymore. We need structural change driven from Canberra. Now, some solutions and ideas that I've come up with in talking to people like Colleen, people like Dr. Lee and Dr. Spencer, is maybe it's time to look at increasing that rural loading for country GPs. Maybe we need to think outside the box, and when we have rural students or medical students that want to reside and build their life in the regions, and to attract them to the regions, we should wipe their HECS debt. Surely that's cheaper than paying inflated prices for locum doctors, which is only a Band-Aid fix. We know that the first cohort of regionally trained medical students will finish their training at CSU this year. If that model is successful, let's look at expanding it. Let's look at expanding this model around training regional medical students who come from the bush. Let's train them in the bush, in the regions, with the hope that they then serve their communities as the local GP into the future. The time for petitions are over. They're not going to change the situation and the circumstances we find ourselves in. If I'm your federal member after the next election, I will fight day in and day out for structural change needed to address this problem for the future.
Authorised 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄, the Nationals Bathurst.